While Western nations press Iran to give up its uranium enrichment program and try to bring financial leverage to bear on the situation, it turns out the World Bank is preparing to hand over nearly $900 million to Tehran. One U.S. lawmaker has tried to intervene without much success. But as correspondent James Rosen reports, Iran may not get the money for another reason.
When a massive earthquake devastated the southeastern Iranian city of Bam in 2003, the international community, including the U.S., rushed to offer aid. The World Bank arranged a series of loans, including almost $1 billion for earthquake relief, clean air and water projects, and improvements to the sewage system in Tehran.
Since money is fungible, it's direct support to the government of Iran.
Now, Illinois Congressman Mark Kirk argues the World Bank should withhold some $800 million in funds set to be transmitted to Bank Melli, which is under U.S. sanction for funding Iran's nuclear and ballistic missile programs and for laundering money for terror groups. Kirk said National Security Council officials have told him they too want the funds withheld, but that when he raised the issue with Robert Zoellick, the new World Bank president emphasized how difficult that would be.
And we left it off with that they were going to seek further guidance from the General Counsel to the UN Security Council. But when I followed up with the UN Security Council, and especially our mission there, that turned out to be a dead end.
At the State Department, there was no greater enthusiasm for withholding the funds.
I don't think our goal here is to punish the Iranian people for the misdeeds of the regime.
Financial sanctions imposed by the UN Security Council do not apply to humanitarian and development projects. But even if the funding is legal, the World Bank spokesman told Fox News, recent U.S. sanctions have made it impossible to use Bank Melli for transactions, that European financial institutions will also not handle the money, and that as a result, the funding in question has effectively been stopped cold. But Kirk, a former staffer at the World Bank and a vocal critic of it, thinks Iran may already have received some of its money.
There was a spreadsheet that the World Bank staff provided this summer showing $870 million in credits that were available to the government of Iran. A new spreadsheet, which was just released, shows $820 million in credits available. That would indicate to me that we should look into whether $50 million was provided to the government of Iran just this summer.
President Zoellick is traveling in Germany and couldn't be reached for comment, but his aides stressed that the World Bank currently has no plans to approve any new loans for Iran. In Washington, James Rosen, Fox News.